In this video, I'm going to tell you my experience in making over 200K a year in remote high ticket sales, where all of the leads were inbound, and how high ticket compares to other traditional sales jobs. So high ticket is the only sales job that I've ever had where all of the leads were just ready to buy and I didn't have to convince them or like sell them on it at all. So I've done high ticket, obviously, but I've also done corporate tech. I've done real estate sales. I've done door-to-door vacuum sales. I've done all kinds of sales jobs. And every single one of those normal sales jobs is a grind. And I had to like beg people to buy things from me, right? Like that's the position you're coming from. But in high ticket, the leads, when you get on the phone with them, they already want to buy. And I'm trying to decide, do I want to sell to this person or not? That is how it works. Most people know what high ticket sales is, but if you don't, you are a remote salesperson for an online business, typically an internet business, and you're selling digital products and services. So that could be coaching programs, it could be software, it could be marketing services, internet courses, mentorships, all kinds of things like this. And all of these products or services that I just mentioned cost a lot of money. They're expensive. They cost multiple thousands and thousands of dollars. That's what high ticket means. And that means I make a high commission for every sale that I make. And at the same time, I'm making many, many sales all the time because of internet traffic. And more details I'm going to go into later. But the combination of all of this equals making a lot of money. In case you're not a rocket scientist, that's what that means. So in high ticket sales, because these businesses are run primarily through social media, you have a ton of inbound warm lead flow. And many times I have so many people that want to buy, I have to disqualify people and not sell to them because they're just not a good fit for the product, whatever the product is. So what you do as a remote salesperson is you just take the calls, and the people that you speak to, they already have some level of interest in buying. Your job is just to see if it's right for them, and if it is, then you sell it to them. There's no other responsibilities, all right? And it's probably the most simple, straightforward sales job that I've ever had. And if you've done other sales jobs and you're doing high ticket now, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When I got into this, I was like, no way it's this easy. Like there's gotta be a catch, right? Like I was looking for the catch for like the first month or two. Because every single sales job I've had before that, it's like you get into it and it's great up front, but there's always like something that comes up and you're like, oh, I knew this was too good to be true. But because these businesses are run exclusively through social media, there's just a constant flow of new people coming in who are warm. That is the key word. They are warm and they are scheduling calls themselves. So you just always make sales. Like it never stops. It like blew my mind the first time I like got inside and saw this working. And it's so easy for me to understand now, right? Because I've been doing this for years and years. But until you actually like see it in action or you do this, maybe it's not really gonna click. So despite the obvious, having tons of people come to you who are dying to buy from you, which makes it so easy to make a ton of money as a closer, what else sets this apart from like other regular sales jobs? In my first sales job, first official sales job, which was real estate sales, I was a residential real estate salesperson schmuck. Right? I remember this shit like it was yesterday. As a residential real estate agent, when you first start, your entire life is just cold outreach and lead generation. That's it, because there are no warm leads anywhere. So what you do is you cold call all day, you outreach through every single channel you can find, just trying to find people who are looking to buy a house and will let you be their agent. And buyers suck. Buyers are not even where the money is. You want to be an agent for sellers because you want to get listings, which is even harder to do, and that takes even more time. So you start with buyers, and you have to work your ass off when you first start, and that could go on for years and years. And when you do get a buyer, like someone that's looking to buy a house and they're going to let you be their agent, that's just one person who might be worth like $3,000 after you work for them like a dog for like months and months, right? One person. And now that you've got this person, now you're doing like a shitload of work for them. You're having to find them houses. You're having to take them to these houses in person, deal with all of their like incessant trivial needs and pointless demands, and dealing with all the problems of every single house that you come across. Then on top of all that, you gotta like assist them with getting financing. dealing with all the issues that come up once you choose the house and you start inspecting it. Like, it just never fucking ends. All of that, and you might get like $3,000 after like 3 months. What? Bro, I made like $3,000 in 30 minutes from the couch last night. Literally, on a Zoom call. But while you're doing all of that in real estate, like you're doing all that stuff, working with these people and doing all of those things for these people in person, you still have to be doing your outreach. You still have to be doing your lead generation every single day at the same time, because if you stop doing that, even for like a few days, like where are the next clients gonna come from? You know? Fucking snap your fingers, do a magic trick, they're gonna come from fucking Fantasyland. You have to do this stuff every day at the same time. It's a grind. So, like most regular sales jobs, real estate sales is a huge scam, in my opinion. And what I mean is you get sold this like massive dream of like making a lot of money, and that never happens for the vast majority of people that get into it. I would say the 99% of people that get into most sales jobs, real estate sales jobs, they have these dreams of making like substantially more money than they do now, and they all fail. They all get washed out. 99% of them. Yes, you can make a lot of money in real estate sales. It is possible, but it's going to take you like many, many years before you get to that big money that you're imagining. Like, you want to make $1 million a year in real estate? That's at least 10, 15, more like 15 years down the road. And most people are never going to make it that far. And this is funny too, because there's like waves and waves of normal people online in like comment sections and on social media who say anything that's being sold online is a scam, right? Like, online business is a scam, high ticket sales is a scam. Whereas every single other traditional sales job I ever had was a scam. Like, they promise you, hey, you can get rich in this sales job, and they tell you that because the jobs suck, right? Because they need more salespeople because their turnover rate is so high, whatever, because the jobs suck. The salespeople are constantly turning over. And then when you get in there and you find out, like, rarely does anyone make that insane amount of money that they promised you, that they told you you would, that is a scam. That's a scam, brother. That's a scam. And that's most regular sales jobs. But this is the world that we live in, where most people are sheep and are unable to think for themselves, and they have not had an original thought in years, and the screens that they look at do all the thinking for them. And if every other like normal person you know is doing something, no matter how ridiculous it is, like, people just accept it. They're like, oh, that's normal. No matter how bad they see everybody getting bent over by it. They're just like, oh, that's normal, because that's what every other dumbass I know is doing. Now compare this to high ticket sales. I came out of corporate tech and was making 6 figures in just a few months. Like 10K a month, 6 figures in just a few months, almost right away. And all I had to do was like sit in my house and take these scheduled Zoom calls and sell expensive stuff to people that already want to buy it. So this is a perfect example. Both of these things that I just talked about are sales, but one is way better than the other, and it's not even close. In high ticket sales, I'm not having to do mass outreach. I'm not getting rejected 30 times a day. I'm not doing any hard work at all, really. All of the hard work is up front in finding the opportunity. Once you're in the good opportunity, like, most of the hard work is done. That the bulk of your success in high ticket sales is finding the good opportunity. Once you get into it, most of the hard work is done. But anyone who's worked a hard sales job before, right, knows that that shit grinds you down, where you're doing like cold outreach all day, or you're getting rejected 30 times a day. That grinds you down. I don't care who you are. It's impossible for it not to. But in high ticket, you just show up, you talk to people who are interested. That makes all the difference. Like, talking to people who tell you to fuck off all day, and then talking to people that are actually interested and want to speak to you, that is night and day. And anyone that's done sales knows exactly what I'm talking about. And another sales job that I had, tech sales, which I've talked about extensively on here. Tech sales is a great career if that's what you want. But again, many things that you are promised are not how it's really going to be. So what do I mean? Yes, you can make a good amount of money in tech sales. It's a very secure career path. These are facts. But what does the job actually look like, and how long is that going to take you in reality? So when you first start, you are going to be an SDR, which is basically a glorified appointment setter. They just call it something else. So you'll be doing, once again, cold outreach. You will be smashing a list, an email list. You will be sending tons of emails all day. You will be smashing outbound calls all day long. Outbound, that is your job as an SDR. That is it. You are just a workhorse. So let me paint a picture of how ridiculous this was. I would show up to my corporate tech sales job, which was in person, by the way, and I would just send out emails for like the first 4 hours of the day. Then after lunch, I would do dials for like 4 hours to possible dials, outbound calls for 4 hours to possible leads, people that had shown any kind of interest or been on demos, things like this. Like, hey, do you want to schedule another demo? What's a convenient time for you? Stuff like this. And also in between those 4 hour blocks of cold outreach, I would have lunch, which was only like 30 minutes long. And if you're like over in any like corporate job, if you're like over the time, right? People would be like, oh, well, you were over your lunch by a few minutes. Like, what? Go fuck yourself. Like, there's a set of nuts between my legs. I'll take fucking 3 hours to eat my lunch if I want to. This shit is crazy to me that people put up with this stuff. Like, you get 30 minutes, and if you take 33, they're like giving you flack. Go fuck yourself. If you work in a job like that and that doesn't bother you, something is wrong with your brain. Literally. But after you've been an SDR for however long a time, sometimes that could be years, they will move you up to account manager or to account executive. And now you get to do demos all day, which means you're basically running through like a demo of your software, of your product or service, whatever the product is, with potential clients and basically trying to convince them, hey, look at how amazing this is. Look at this shiny thing, like you're jingling keys in front of a dog. Now, account manager was cool because I made lots of money. But my entire day was just like running these demos, basically just trying to get people to see why my thing was better than the rest of the market's thing, which in our case, it actually was. We had the best product on the market and I still had to like convince them. It never made any sense to me. It's very strange. So there's a whole lot of like, hey, will you please like me more? And this is a lot of traditional sales jobs. And like I said, luckily, the company I sold for, the product was legit. It blew everyone else's out of the water. But still, even in that case, I had to do all this convincing and persuading. That's just the nature of like corporate and tech and being in sales jobs like that. Now, pay structure, sales commission structure is going to be different based on whatever the tech sales job is. There's no range here. It could be anything. But I took home about $200K after taxes in my first year as account manager. And I made more than that later. But the trade-off to that was I fucking hated my life, which I probably said in every single video on this channel. I hated what I was doing all day. I hated corporate environment. I hated everyone I worked with. I hated being told what to do. Like, you could have given me $10 million a year and I would not have been able to stay there. Like, it was horrible. Like, cool, there's money like coming into my bank account, but my lifestyle was shit. I was not enjoying that 99% of the time. And you have to think about these things when you are deciding what you're going to do for money. The money is not going to make up for you hating what you're doing every day. It never will. And the point is, even in like a legitimate career, because not only is the money good, but this is a legitimate career path, and I'm selling something that people want, I was still doing like having to do like outbound, right? We had a good product. It was a legit job in a legit career. And I'm still having to do like outbound and shit and convince people to buy it. These things make no sense at all. Where is the disconnect here? What's going on? Now, compare that to remote high ticket sales. Most of the calls that I get on, I am evaluating them from the jump. I'm thinking, is this person right for this? Are they going to be able to succeed with this product? Should I even sell it to them? The vibe is completely different. So the position of power is switched, so to speak. And this makes an immediate difference. And the stress level on me or on you, if you get into this, is like basically zero because I just don't care. I don't care if they buy or not. It does not matter to me because if they don't, the next person is going to. I always have a full calendar. Like, I don't have to do any outbound. More people will schedule calls. I'm going to always have leads coming in without me having to do anything. And if you've never been in sales and you're listening to what I'm saying and you're like, oh, okay, like these things are fucking huge. These things make all of the difference. And anyone that's been in sales right now is like, damn, that sounds amazing. That sounds fucking nice. And I can make like almost 150K a year immediately. Sign me up. Many of the people that I get on calls with already want to buy. I don't have to sell them shit. They're already sold because they've been watching this business's social media content for a month or two. And then one day they were like, okay, I need this problem solved, or I need to get this guy's help, whatever. And then when they get on the call, finally, they're already ready to buy because all of the selling got done through the content, through social media. So I don't have to convince them of anything because they have already sold themselves on this product from watching content every single day for months, possibly. And notice the similarities in most traditional sales jobs, whether that's real estate, tech, whatever. Sales is defined as having to outreach to someone and convince them to do something that they may not want to do. Like, no shit, people have a warped view of sales and they think that it's like hard and difficult. If you spend your day, your entire day, every single day, trying to convince people to do things they don't want to do, doesn't that sound like shit? If that was the job description, like, hey, this is sales, you're going to spend your entire day having to convince people that don't want to talk to you to do things they don't really want to do. No motherfucker is signing up for that job. But that's what traditional sales jobs are. Who wants to do that? I don't want to do that shit. What a horrible waste of time. The punchline of this video is that most sales jobs are not good sales jobs. And the ones that are, you sometimes have to work for like 5, 10, 15 years to get to the good money. In high ticket sales, being a salesperson for an online business, that's changed everything, right? This is a completely new thing. I do not think you understand how early you can be to this, but that is going to change very, very quickly. The more people hear about this opportunity where you can make 6 figures from home to talk to people that don't want to tell you to fuck off, the more and more people are going to want to do that. It's changing fast. I'm already seeing it right now. But all the things that were wrong with traditional sales jobs, high ticket sales has basically fixed those and innovated on them. And that has made all the difference for me, and it will for you too. That's the end of the video. If you want my help getting a closer role or a setter role, go to the links in the description. Until next time.